Today I would like to talk to you about the power of the cross. It's interesting because over the years, I'm 36 years old, and I've been a Christian my whole life. Um, not by everyone's definition, but anyway. When someone knows you're a Christian, do you know what the number one gift is that you get? Holidays. Even as a teacher, I was a public school teacher. And if the kids know you go to church, do you know what you get for a gift? Crosses. I have a ton of these crosses. Different crosses. Wooden crosses, painted crosses, crosses with quotes on them, metal crosses. Because it's a symbol of Christianity. And one thing that I've noticed, and I want to be delicate with my words, but I'm not always good at that. The Christian church can seem, just maybe, a little elite, like the power of the cross belongs to them. And then there's that definition of what the power of the cross means. And if you don't believe this, this, and this, then you don't believe in the power of the cross. And there's a reality that, for the most part, inside the Christian church, it's been taught the supernatural, sacrificial power of the cross. How Jesus was the sacrificial lamb, and then all the things that cross meant and what it means now. And as Jesus is God. And with that, I feel like there's been a missing part of that story, of that teaching, because Jesus was human. I mean, we can't deny that. Jesus was a human being who died a terrible, horrible death. And if we could look at a different perspective on the power of the cross, that even someone who doesn't believe in the salvation, in the sacrifice, there's still so much power in the cross. And so for every one of us, no matter what our belief system is, I think that we could all look at the cross today. And so I want you to just allow yourself. So lay down the religious walls you're starting to put up. And I want you to just think about Jesus the human. Jesus the person who was a teacher, who was a rebel, who didn't follow the rules, who bucked the system, who touched the untouchable, who crossed the lines of race, of gender, all those things. And he said, I'll talk to you. I'll be with you. I'll touch you. I'll fellowship with you. I'll do life with you. All the people that the world, that his religion said he shouldn't. The brave advocate. If we could just look at that Jesus, who went out on a limb all the time, who knew his life was going to be short, but he said, it's worth it. He looked at children and he said, you're worth it. He looked at women and he said, you're worth it. He looked at non-Jews and said, you're worth it. And he said, I would die for you. I believe so deeply in what's right that I'll die for that cause. And what did Jesus teach? What was the gospel that he taught? Well, when I read the Bible, I could summarize it with, what do you think I'm going to say? Love. He was a Jewish man. But whenever the law did not line up with love, he picked love. And he picked love so much that it scared people. It made people angry. They were afraid of what love was going to do. And he didn't care. He was willing to die for love. That's powerful. And every one of us are called to be like Jesus. And Jesus said that we were going to do greater things than him. And I think about the world that we live in, the times that we live in today, where we can be a voice, we can speak up, we can be an advocate for people. We don't have to agree with our government. We don't have to agree with the rules of the religious system. Man, what a good world we live in. And we won't be crucified, not literally. We are doing greater things than Jesus was able to in his time, in his culture, with the amount of time he had on this earth. And so there's this crazy, amazing power of the cross. When I think about a man, a human man, willing to fight to the very end for love, and then the influence that that's had on the world, on me, the rising up that came out of that, wow, there's some power in the cross for all of us, regardless of our belief system. That today we can think about the symbol of the cross and think, I actually don't have to die for my cause, but maybe I should at least speak up. When I see an injustice, speak up. When I see the opposite of love, speak up. So, all of us, regardless of our belief systems, I think we can value the cross. And even inside Christianity, I think all of us could benefit from opening our eyes to Jesus the human. Because we have to admit that it's harder for us to relate to Jesus. We're called to be like Jesus, to be Jesus. Yet if he's been created to be so far from human, it's harder for us to relate. And so today, let's just meditate on Jesus the human, Jesus the advocate, Jesus the rebel. Let's meditate on the power of that love. Maybe just sit with the question of, do I need to redefine the power of the cross? Am I limiting it? Because maybe you're sitting here thinking, yeah, I don't believe in the power of the cross. Or, what is your definition of the power of the cross? Maybe it's time to redefine it. Be blessed.